Hi children, today we are going to see the next chapter, network cabling, and in this video we can discuss what is cabling and what are the types of cables we are using in the network. And in this lesson we are going to discuss what is cabling and what is computer network and what are the types of cables and which are the components we are going to use in the Ethernet cables and registered jacks, and what are the types of registered jacks and the functions, how to color, that is how they used that colors for the Ethernet cabling, then how to wiring that Ethernet cable, how we can make, that is how we can decide the length of the Ethernet cable. So these are the things we are going to discuss in this chapter. So in this video we can see just introduction about the network cabling and then types of cables. So first, and where they introduced this cabling technique in this 19th century. Okay, so in that 19th century they decide to find a network for the US military, because to serve weapons, to serve the weapons they decided to develop a technology. In that time there is no technology, so they decided to develop, and that is the basic thing to development of the network. After that, Advanced Research Projects Agency network, that is ARPANET, was introduced in that period, that is 19th century, and in that network they introduced TCP and then IP. TCP and IP, that is nowadays we are telling it is a protocols, and after that they are trying to find out networks of networks. So after the search of many networks they find out that nowadays we are using internet, so this is the network of network, and we are using that with the www, that is World Wide Web, which is invented by Tim Berners-Lee, and nowadays all over the world we are using this network. And in that network, to share the information from one place to another place, we need some medium. For that we are using some cables, so that cables are called as network cables. So these cables will transfer the data from one place to another place. See, in this picture they connected the computers with many cables, and now we can see the types of cables in a network. So there are 6 types of cables are there. The first we will see coaxial cable. So this coaxial cable was used in 80s, and this is mostly used for the television, and nowadays also we are using the cable, that is called as coaxial cable. So in this coaxial cable it will transfer the data very small, that is 10 MB per second, 10 Mbps, only that much it will transfer the data. So in this also we can divide this into 2 types, that is thin net cables, thick net cables. So there are 2 types are there, thin net and thick net. In this cables, a copper wire is there inside. If you take that cable wire, a normal cable wire, you can see one copper wire inside that. After that, that copper wire is protected with some other plastic layers. After that, one one black color coating will be there. So this is called as coaxial cable, and in this coaxial name came from coax, C-O-A-X, coax. And nowadays we are using these cables in the TVs. For the television only we are using this cable, and we have the cable, many cable names are there. Some of them they gave: Media Bridge 50 feet coaxial cable, Amazon Basic CL2 rated coaxial cable. See, this is the coaxial picture, coaxial cable. So this we already know, which is we are connecting always in our televisions. So this is coaxial. The next one is twisted pair cables. So twisted pair cables means for the simple wirings and all we will use, that is, we will take two color wires and we will twist it to make a single wire, is called as twisted pair cables. Okay, so this twisted pair cables will transfer the data 10 MB per second, that is 10 base T cable is used. And for the high speed, if you want, we have to use 100 base TX cable. So this will transfer 100 MB per second. And one more thing, nowadays we are using 10 G base T, that is 10 gigabytes data it will transfer. And in this twisted cable we have 8 wires are there, 8 wires, and in this it will be twisted and all together we can give one coating. This type of wires can be divided into two types: unshielded twisted pairs, shielded twisted pairs. See, unshielded twisted pairs means normally for the wirings and all, simply we will use two wires, we will twist and then we will make a plug. That is called as unshielded twisted pairs, that is UTP. And shielded twisted pair means twisted pair wires will be there. To cover that wires, they will give another like a pipe, like that they will give, that is called as shielded twisted pair. So these are the two types of twisted pair wires. And compared to this coaxial wire, the maintenance is easy here, because the twisted pair this coaxial cable wires are too heavy to replace. That is, if you want to replace the cable wire, a bunch of wires, we want to take it from one place to another place. To avoid that, we can use this twisted pair wires. It is less weight, so we can carry easily anywhere. The next one is fiber optics. So fiber optic cable is like this. See, this is called as fiber optic cable. So in this fiber optic cable, it is a combination of, in this fiber optic cable, copper material inside, that is copper wire will be available inside that. Then after that it is covered with one layer, then that layer also covered with another layer altogether. It's called as fiber optics. And in this fiber optic cables, we are using to send glass, that is strands of glass, and then light pulse are used to transfer the information, and this type is used in the wide area network, because in the wide area networks we need many cables to transfer the data, and mostly these type of cables are used in the underground. In this also we have two types of cables. One is single mode cable, another one is multi mode cable. So single mode is 100 base BX, we can tell. Multi mode is 100 base SX. Here single modes used for the long distance, and because it's high cost, then multi mode is used for the short distance and it is low cost. So this is about fiber optics cable. So the next we will see USB cable. So this already we know what is USB cables and all. To connect the keyboards and mouse we are using the USB cables, and to connect the internet also we are using the USB cables. And nowadays we are using the latest version, that is USB 3.0. So in this it will transfer 4.85 gigabits compared to this fiber optics cable, coaxial cable and twisted pair cables. It will transfer the data faster. And in this 2.0, that is USB 2.0, it will transfer the data only 480 MBs. So now the third 3.0 is very faster. And this, now we have the micro USB also, that is used in our mobile phones to charge and to transfer the data between the mobile phones and then computers. Next one is serial and parallel cables. Serial cables and then parallel cables. So these were used in the 80s and 90s. 80s and 90s, before the invention of USB cables and Ethernet cables. So before the invention they used the serial cables and then parallel cables. Why they used? To connect the internet to the system. These are used to connect the internet, and PC to PC networking. To connect two computers they used this serial and then parallel parallel cables. After the invention of this USB and then Ethernet cables, they are not using this one. Now see, this is called as parallel cables. We already saw these cables in the computers and all. The back side we are using to connect to the CPU and monitor and all. We will use like this cable only. So that is different, and this is another one. And what we are connecting in the monitor to CPU, that is called as crossover cables, not parallel cables, crossover cables we are using. And this is called as null modem cable also. What is null modem cable? That is, we can connect two computers without modem, is called as null modem cable. Like use this cable, that is crossover cable. This is like a crossover cable. So using this cable we can connect two computers to transfer the data in between the monitors. So that is called as null modem cable. So the next one we will see is Ethernet cables. So Ethernet cable is, it is the advanced one. Nowadays we are using the, for the LAN connection we are using this Ethernet cables, and this is called as Ethernet cable. To connect the computer without modem we are using one blue color cable, is called as Ethernet cable, and it will transfer the data 10 gigabits per second. And nowadays most of the computers are using like this to transfer the data. For this there is no need of modem. in between we don't want to use the modem, it will automatically transfer the data. So mostly this cable will be available in this blue color, and both sides are equal. Both end should be the same model is there, like to plug. So these are the types of cables available in this networking. Thank you.